Hey guys, today I will be making this low stool. First, I'm just going to be cutting my main pieces, which is just one 18-inch piece and two 14-inch pieces, cut out of this 1x8. But it's actually 7.5 inches. Right here, I am going to be planing off the old wood because this is actually some old stock from a hardware store. So I'm just clamping one of the pieces in my end vise, and if you don't have, you can just use a planing stop or whatever to keep the board still while you plane it. Next, for the layout, I'm going to be referencing the board to my marking gauge, and if you don't have one, it's very easy to make. There are many tutorials online and I can make a video about one in the future. Here, you're just going to score the line on your board. Just in case you don't know, I am going to be connecting the top to the two sides with dovetails, and I'm not going to make a dovetail cutting tutorial because I'm not a master at it, but I'm just using a ruler and a divider to mark them out. Just keep in mind that I'm cutting the tails on the side, but some people like the tails on the top, and it's just going to be your personal preference. I don't think it will really affect the strength of the stool. Maybe it will if you're making cabinets or drawers or such, but not really for this. For the dovetail angle, I am just going for about 15 degrees. I am using a Ryoba saw to cut out the dovetails, although it would be good if you had something like a Dazuki or something with some sort of spine so that you can keep it straight. I do have saws with spines, but they're not fine enough for the job. Next, I'm just going to cut off the waist, and for the center parts, I'm just going to use a coping saw. Next, I'm going to work on the top piece or the seat. I'm just transferring the tails of each side piece to the top piece, and also use the marking gauge to strike that 3/4 inch thickness line. And after carrying that line down to the baseline, I'm just going to use my Ryoba saw to cut out them the same way that we've cut out the tails. And then the same thing, I've cut them out with the coping saw, but remember to not cut exactly to the baseline because we're still going to chisel them. For your legs and your top, you're going to chisel down to your baseline, and remember to not be too aggressive. Next, I'm going to glue the sides to the top. And if you're like me and not exactly an expert, like I only started cutting dovetails, it's going to be a little gappy, but actually, if you sand it while the glue is still wet, it will actually fill those holes pretty good. My joint actually turned kinda loose, so I needed to use a clamp to clamp it down. But after it's dry, that's when I put the glue. And then as you can see, after just some sanding, it actually looks great. After attaching the two sides, I cut out a piece just for a center brace. Even though it isn't necessary, just to make it stronger, I'm adding it in. People would mortise and tenon this in, but actually, I'm just going to regularly glue it in and then just clamp it. After giving it a finish, it actually looks good, but I can see that sometimes when I go in the wrong grain direction, the plane actually digs in and you can see visible marks. But aside from that, it turned out great. I like it. And so yeah, that would be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!